Okay, the first question will come to your mind, or I don't think so anyone have that question, but still, if your parents have doubt why you should become a pilot, I'll explain you the benefits of becoming a pilot. Okay. So becoming a pilot will be a very respected job, and if you have a passion for flying and travel, this is definitely you should choose. Okay. Apart from that, you all know that pilots are one of the highest paying jobs in the world, and it is a prestigious career. Okay, and there is a lot of growth opportunity as 1700 aircraft being ordered by Indigo and Air India combined. Apart from that, you have recently heard about the news that in Air India, Indian government is planning to launch another three airlines. They're not launching, actually, they are supporting three other airlines, Al Hind and Shank Air, kind of that. So the demand is continuously growing, and we are living in a population of 1.4 billion. So the demand, whatever is right now, is definitely going to rise up. So it's a very good career path, and if you want to become a doctor, I don't think so anyone want to become a doctor, but lot of parents, when I discuss with them, they consider that thing, the fees is high, but if you consider becoming a doctor, it will, including your MBBS, MD, and starting practice, it will take a lot of time and a lot of money as well. And if you put that money in this field, your returns will be greatly higher and will be quicker, because if you can put that much amount, you can get a job around 2 1 2 years, and yeah, definitely start earning, and the growth is very high. As a junior first officer is getting a salary of around 1.5 to 2.5 lakh, depend on the airlines nowadays. And the captain salary goes up to 7 8 lakhs in India. Some of the foreign airlines, Middle Eastern, like Riyadh, they are recently announced its first officer salary around 18 lakhs per month, and captains, I think, 25 lakhs per month. So that is a very crazy number, right? So definitely it's a good field. Okay. This is all the positive side, and I think all of you probably know about this. You won't require this thing. But I'll tell you why you should not become a pilot. Okay. So why you should not become a pilot? Because even though it's a very lucrative field, okay, and you might think, oh, good salary, good flying, good respect, but it's not a simple job. Okay, if you are someone who don't want to study continuously, because being a pilot you require continuous knowledge of the updatation of the systems. All the It's not like something that you learn once and forget after the exam. Throughout our lives you have to use this knowledge, and the life of the peoples are dependent on your knowledge. So you need to be very sharp. Okay, you can't be lazy for studying. So if you're someone who don't think that they can study throughout their life, you should not join this. All right, is my screen visible, guys? Okay, great. So that was the first reason, and second reason being that you want to sleep a good night's sleeps. Okay, what I mean by that is, being a pilot you have to continuously travel, and the timings for that is very varied. Okay, sometimes you have to wake up at 3 a.m in the night and go for a sector. Sometimes you are working day, sometimes you're working at 9. Your sleep schedule is completely disrupted. So if you want a peace sleep, you should not join pilot. And the third reason is being, if you want to spend time with family on the functions, or you want to celebrate with your family. But as in pilot, what will happen that the highest demand will be at the time when there is festives, right? So example, Christmas, Diwali, Holi, that time the people are traveling a lot. So that time the demand is higher, and you cannot get the holidays at that time. You might miss a few family function as well. So these are the cons of being a pilot. Yeah, stressful job, definitely. It will definitely not a cakewalk. You have to work harder, and it's not like that you will put a money and you get a CPL and everything. There will be definitely competition, but that is why you required to have sufficient knowledge that you can compete in this world. Okay, and plus more and less, what happened that every student gets a job in an airline, because a lot of time I got this question that might have that if I'm able to secure the job in airline or not. I'll tell you what. Up till 2024, everyone I know from the aviation has secured the job in airline, and after that, some 1 and 1.5 year, Indigo stopped hiring. That's why some people might be, if you, its nature is because of the Indigo, they stop hiring. All of a sudden, they hired so much people that some virtual gap is created, and there are a lot of people from the last year, they are sitting without the job in the airline, but they might be soon because Air India recently announced pilot vacancy for 320s. Okay. And Indigo is also launching new vacancy in the upcoming quarter. So, and everybody knows that after the Indigo fiasco, that the government is pressuring them to resolve the things very quickly. So yeah, definitely it's a very good opportunity for you to grab it now. Seeing the momentum, I think most of you have come after seeing my reel that there is a shortage of 30,000 pilots. Let me just clarify that the 30,000 pilot shortage is over the 10 or 12 years. So what happened? Just if you complete by now and the number of aircrafts come that much, that time will there is a big demand for that thing. But if you are good enough, you study hard, and if you join us, we'll teach you everything, uh, how you can achieve that things. Okay. So that we are from arts background, we are from commerce background, we are engineer or we want to become engineer. Okay, yeah, after that you they want to do that. For becoming a pilot, there is no requirement for such that to you have to engineering degree or any degree for that matter. You can just complete your CPL after completion of your 12th. Okay, but it is not a degree course. You are not considered a graduate. You still be considered a 12 plus 2 only. Okay, and you should have physics and maths in 12th. If you don't have that, for example commerce or an art student, if you don't have any one of the subject, you can clear it through NIOS. Okay, what is NIOS? NIOS stand for National Institute of Open Schooling. So basically it will allow you to give the examination without attending any school or colleges. Okay, so you have to clear the paper from that. Okay, and there is a circular, or you can say there has been discussion that there will be discussion with the DGCA that they might remove this criteria for physics and maths, and arts and commerce student can also join, because the mathematics that is required for being a pilot is mostly up to 10th standard and preliminary to that, and the syllabus is quite different. You, if even if you don't study 11 12, you can study, right? Up to 10th standard the knowledge is sufficient. Anything you study in 11 12 is irrelevant to becoming a pilot. Okay. Just a second. Okay. The next criteria is your age. So again, a very confusion is there. So what age should you join? Okay. First, we have to understand what is the three type of licenses you will be requiring, or you have to go. Okay. The first license is your student pilot license. Okay, student pilot license are basically something which allows you to fly a plane in it under instruction basically. Okay, so the instructor will be sitting to the right of you and he will be guiding you. Okay, and by using the privileges of student pilot license, you can fly the aircraft. Okay, under the guidance. What it doesn't allow, it doesn't allow you to take your friends with you, doesn't allow you to do a job. Basically it's a learner license, student pilot license. The second license is your private pilot license. Now it is optional in India. You don't need to take the private pilot license. In foreign countries like America, it is compulsory. You have to obtain private pilot license first, and then you can opt for commercial pilot license. Private pilot license, basically you can obtain the given criteria by DGCA is around 40 hours, that minimum 40 hours, but it will take around 50 hours of time because further criteria are there that you cannot get under 40 hours, but roughly you can say take 50 hours of time. After obtaining private pilot license, you can basically take your friends with you, okay, to fly, but you cannot earn them through them. Okay, you cannot take charges to fly those friends. Okay, that's why I'm using the term friends and family. Okay, and most of the pilots in India do not take PPL because very rare people are just for hobby flying. Okay, just for learning purpose. If they are rich, they just want to fly, they want to do job in a commercial sector, that time they took PPL. Very rare, so we'll skip that part and come to the main part, commercial pilot license, which is required you to do jobs, right? For obtaining that, you require uh, basically to clear examination and all that. We'll come to that part later. Now you have to understand that the main thing that allows you, or you call yourself a captain, or become a commercial pilot, okay, you have to obtain commercial pilot license. Okay, that is after 200 hour flying school. Okay, coming back to this topic, if you understand these 3 points, okay, the first we learn learner's license, that is student pilot license. To obtain student pilot license, what are the criterias? Okay, you have to opt age 16. Okay, if you are 16 years old, you can opt for student pilot license. Second, it doesn't require 12th. Okay, you can opt for 10th as well after 10th. And you required class 2 medical. Okay, now there are two types of medical, class 2 medical and class 1 medical. So let me explain you that. So basically, there are two type of medicals. The first medical, or you can say lower medical, is class 2, and this allows you to take SPL. Okay, the further mode is upper class is class 1. Okay, so like a step for getting a CPL, you require class 1. So that's why whenever you start, it is advised that you complete your class 2 and class 1 together. Why? Because if you start your flying on SPL on class 2 medical and you complete your training, invested a lot of money in this thing, and later on find out that there is some problem in class 1 medical, you're not class 1 medically certified, and lost of your fees, your efforts, and everything got to waste, right? And there are few cases where it happens. That's why it is recommended, because it won't take much time. You go to class 2 and complete your class 1 as well. It will take time between class 2 and class 1. Let me explain you how. So let me explain how you can yourself do your class to class 1 medical and what are the tests involved in that. Just give me a second. Okay, so if anyone have watched my reel from uh, that doctor section, class step 1, you might have these documents. If you don't have, I'll share you the link, or you can just comment down on my doctor reel. Okay, so this is class 2 and class 1. I hope this criteria is, you understand this criteria, that class 2 you have to do it first. Okay, so where to do from class 2? So these are the list of the doctors. Okay, can you see it? Comment down yes if you can see this list. Okay, great. So this is the list. You can, there are a lot of doctor. Let me check how many are there total. Okay, so it is separated by sectors. Okay, no worry. The western region is that side. So there are a lot of doctors basically. So you can search the nearest doctor to you. You have their number, right? Their email IDs. Okay, so contact them and take appointment basically. Okay, if you are still in 11th and 12th, you can do that if you want. And if you're pretty sure, it will cost you around roughly around 10,000. Let me explain you why that costs. Okay, this is how you'll find the class 2 doctors nearest you. Okay, so I cannot recommend it because I don't know any one of them. I know few of them where I did my medical. but it might be very long from you, and it's not that much of a big deal, because whenever you go to uh, these doctors, they will give you a date whenever they have free schedule, and this is the document in which all the tests are being specified. Okay, which test you are required and where, uh, when to do what test, because you continuously every year you have to renew this medical. Okay, and you don't need to do the separate same test every year. The test being based on your age. Okay, so this is the initial medical examination, and you can see, right? Let me zoom a little, right? You have to take blood, urine, ECG, blood urea, serum, blood sugar, lipid, LFT, CXR. So this is sonography, ophthalmic eyes test is there, and audiometric ear test is there. Okay, so this kind of test you have to take whenever you go to the doctor. Now, what is the fees of the doctor will depend on the doctor itself. Some doctors charge to 2000 to 5000, so different doctor charges different amount. You can contact them and discuss the amount with them. Okay, now other thing, doctor will tell you the fees one part, and they will say that you have to do the test from them. Okay, and if the doctor is good, they won't force you to do the test from their own clinic. Okay, you can do this test from anywhere, certified NABL, NABH labs. Okay, that you have to keep in mind. You cannot do it from any random lab. You have to be NABL certified. Okay, this is the accreditation. Whenever you discuss with the doctor, he will tell you. Okay, now if you want to save a corner of money, you can do this test from government hospital as well, because it will be very cheap. Okay, not entirely free. I think they charge a minimum amount for this test, but you can do that if you want to save some money, and you can discuss with the doctor. If the doctor fees is around 3000, and it will 1 2000, you can complete under 5000 as well, if you want to save that money. Okay, otherwise if you want a comfort, you can find a doctor, where most of the doctor actually have their partners which do this test at their clinics. Okay, okay, this is about class 2 doctors. Okay, I understand now. I hope you understand what is class 2 and class 1. So we'll move forward with class 1. Class 1 have two types. Okay, what is class 1 type? So basically it is required for CPL, right? So you have to do first initial. Okay, so it got two type, initial and renewal. So basically first time whenever you do, it's called initial, and initial have to be done at Air Force Station. Okay, and two of the private is also been given. So you can see this is for class 1 initial, the first timers. Okay, so Air Force, AFCME, New Delhi is there. Okay, Jorat, Assam, these are the 6 centers where you can do your class 1 initial. Okay, and few of the civil hospitals are also there. That is Nanavati Hospital in Mumbai and Apollo in Chennai. Okay, but if you want to save money, don't go there, because they charge a lot and they force you to do the test in their own hospital for obvious reason. AFCME, if you go to these centers, basically they ask you to bring the certificates from the outside. They don't test out there. Okay, so this is about class 1 initial, and for renewal is a similar process. There is a list of doctors. Okay, and you can select one, contact them, submit the reports. Okay, and get your class 2 certificate. Now that is a simple task. Okay, it will take around 1 or 2 days, 1 day mostly, 1 day for the test and another day for the results. Okay, and submitting the documents, you will get the medical. Okay, I hope I'm clear up to now. Great, we'll move forward. So this is about your DGCA doctors and everything. And yeah, a lot of time I've been asked that, so our English is not up to the mark, and we have a difficulty while speaking in English. My honest advice would be you have to work it, because English is the primary language in aviation, and there is certain requirement that amount up to level 4 type of um, proficiency required if you want to work as a pilot. So there is a separate test at the end of your commercial pilot license. That is not something to concern about, but in general, you have to be good in English. I told you medical cost is around roughly around 10,000. You can take amount 10 to 15,000, and if you want to save corner, you can do it less than 5,000 as well. Type of license we have discussed. Okay, so the first, the five primary step of becoming a pilot. Okay, the first five primary step for becoming a pilot is your medicals, right? You have cleared the medicals. The second step is your grounds, okay, ground study. Basically, you have to clear five papers, or in fact six right now. I'll explain you what are the six papers. Why I'd consider 5 plus 1? Because the sixth one is basically a license RTR, which allows you to speak on radios. Okay, so it has very different format. You might consider it as around six subjects. Okay, what are the nature of which? What are the subjects? Basically, regulations, which defines the rules and everything. Second is meteorology. Meteorology is basically understanding the weather, because you're continuously in atmosphere, and anything that's acting in atmosphere might affect your flight, so you have to understand this criteria. Okay, the third is navigation, because the primary reason of you being flying is because you have to take the passenger from one position to another position, right? So that's why you have to navigate, right? This is the third subject. And fourth is technicals. Okay, fourth and fifth are basically same: technical general and technical specific. Technical general are the general knowledge of the aircraft systems, how it works, and technical specific are basically specific to that aircraft. Okay, example, you're flying Cessna 172, that is the trainer aircraft. Now this Cessna 172 might have different speed. Okay, what is the maximum speed it can go, what is the engine capacity of that aircraft, that is come under specific, and it is quite easy comparative other subjects. Navigation generals are quite a huge subject, because you have to study a lot of things in that. And the last thing is RTR, basically communication through RTR. Now the format of this exam is basically MCQ based. Okay, so you will having 50 or 100 questions depending on the subject, and the exam will be conducted online. So that doesn't mean you can sit at your home and give the examination. For that, you're required to apply for computer number. Okay, so you, how can you apply for computer number? So there is a portal, Pariksha DGCM. Okay, this is the government portal, Pariksha DGCM. You have to register here. Okay, this will give you what, a computer number. Computer number basically is a unique number through which you can apply for examination. And yeah, you have to submit those documents, and this will be with you lifetime. Okay, all right. And there are a list of few centers: Chandigarh, Kolkata, major cities, Delhi, Bangalore, Mumbai, where you have to go and give the examination. Okay, it is conducted 9 or 10 times a month, a year, so there are a lot of possibility. 4 are regular, and the fees are around 2,500, whereas for on demand session it has 10,000 fees. Okay, the fees is around 2,500. Okay, and if you fail that amount, the amount is lost, so you have to prepare thoroughly for this thing. So this is the all everything about um, exams. Okay, we'll take the questions Q&A section in the last segment of the webinar. Okay, okay, this is the flying hour requirement for the commercial pilot license. You have to do 200 of flying hours, in which you can do cross solo flights, cross country flight, night flight, instrument flying, and sometimes you have to do multi engine rating, that is 15 hours, that is required for Airbus. Okay, If you're flying Boeing, you don't require multi-engine rating. But nowadays, Air India, um, which is one of the largest carrier for Boeing, okay, so they've been asking for multi-engine rating. So in general, we recommend student that you try to complete your multi-engine. So yeah, that is one part of your flying training. Okay, and multi-engine. If you want to, because without even multi-engine, you can take your commercial pilot license (CPL) with doing 200 flying hour. And multi-engine training is little bit costly. Okay, it ranges for 15 hour. They takes around 7.5 lakhs. Okay, 7.5 to 8 lakhs kind of fees is there. There's a lot of question being asking flying school. Okay, the flying school. There are a lot of flying school in India. You just go to EGCA. Not login. So this is a government website for civil aviation. Every documents will be there. DGCA. So any document you will be looking for, you can find here. The document I shown you for the medical as well, you can find out here. Okay. As you can see, training section, flying training organization (FTO). Here is the list of FTOs. Let me zoom if I can. You can see, right? So there are a lot of details are be there, uh, that name of the aircraft and name of the flying class and the aircrafts are there. So if you want to know the best flying school, there is no such best flying school. What happen whenever there is more number of students, the flying performance will reduce. So I cannot recommend any one specific flying club. uh, Basically I would advise you contact them, take quotation, and try to call or contact with the student which are flying right now and take the review from them. Okay, so you can get the better idea of that. Because if I say that, say example, Aviana is doing better good job, right? So what happened, direct up to now is doing great job, but what happened if a lot of student appears suddenly in that thing, they have limited 10 aircrafts are there, so their performance would definitely reduce. And IGRO has very good reputation, but their flying is slow and the fees is very higher if you want one flying club. Aviana is recently opened, this is also doing good. Okay, and there is one ranking list floating, issued by DGCA, but for my understanding, the list is very inaccurate. Do not rely that. Okay, so DGC have come up with the list, but based on the student feedback, I have seen that the top ranking institutes are doing very bad. Okay, because their criteria, the government flying clubs are meeting very high, but they have very less performance. Okay. Okay. So these are the criteria, and the flying fleas cost is around 35 to 60 lakhs. Why I'm right 35 lakhs? Because some of the government flying school have less fee. But what happen whenever you take admission to a government flying school, example Patiara and all that, what is that the flying time is quite high because a lot of students been taking admission, and this uh, will eventually lead to higher cost. You have to calculate that. It's up to your call. I generally not recommend it if you can afford, because flying school have a lot of operational issues. Okay, try it if you want that. And if you want to do flying in abroad, we have tie-ups in South Africa, Argentina. Also been recently emerging a great option for doing your commercial pilot license is Argentina, because it's in Europe. And yeah, there's a good standard of flying, and this cost around $45,000. And that is fair enough. But you have to keep in mind, whenever you want, primary goal is to save money, do not rely on going to international airports, because they might have uh, anything is not under your control. If something anything goes wrong, on paper it might be cheaper, but what happened, like something happened like COVID, so that time the price might go up. But if you want to learn, experience your life, and if you want to, because the standards are very high, their flying is very good. So if you want something that standard, Argentina is good option. If you want to cheapen, what option is South Africa is also doing great. Okay, we also have Philippines and other countries, but Philippines have some trust issues are there from DGC earlier on, but nowadays there are a lot of students also flying from Philippines, so it's a good option as well. Yeah, benefit of the pilots we already been discussing, right? And that is about all. Now there are a lot of challenges, and the primary challenge we will be discussing about the financial cost. Yes, because many time I get a question like, sir, we have that, and the most common question is that the financial, how can we can arrange fund. Look, if the best thing is your father has money saving or some property and that you can sell and save the money. If you don't have, the second option would be going for the education loan. Okay, any nationalized bank, basically like SBI and all, like provide you education loan. And yes, they provide for this thing also, for commercial pilot license. For up to 7.5 lakhs, you don't require any collateral. And if you are taking the loan beyond that, that time you'll require a collateral. Okay, collateral basically anything, property, home, something like that. So in order to secure that education loan, and you can contact the nearest bank to you and you can discuss the terms. You have to take the admission and all that, the formalities you have to be done. Okay, this is the first option. Now a lot of time been asked for scholarship. Let me explain you something about uh, for earlier it you can say there is very limited scholarship. If you belong to reserve category, some scholarship for SC is there, few seats, and OBC also started. Otherwise you can contact your state government if there is any scheme or no. Okay, because it is very limited. I can tell you for SC I have one. You can go to national scholarship portal, and here you can find, do your own research. Okay, you can find the scholarship. I know for SC student there is a few seats in IGROA, Indira Gandhi Rashtriya Udan Academy, and I think they have 3 seats for this thing for SC student, and they conduct an exam annually for entrance. Okay, basically for everyone who want to take admission to there. And if you clear and comes to merit and of top 3, and given other criteria has been fulfilled, the income and other that time you can basically apply for this education loan, the scholarship. Okay, and yeah, this is the site igrogovernment.in, and yeah, you can apply from here for entrance. Right now it's not open, right? Yeah, IGRO entrance, you can apply for that. Yeah, clear the examination, interview, everything, and you might get a scholarship. And only limited to 3. And if you are someone from open, there is Tata Trust, which has also given scholarships. Basically it is the grant. Okay, this is the Tata Trust, and you can contact them. They have contact us number, right? You can find, uh, you can basically, yeah, ask for the scholarship. They have a selection procedure of their own, and but you have to understand the quantum and the seats are very limited. Like for example, Tata Trust I think gives around 1 to 7 lakhs of the fees, and the remaining things you have to arrange of your own. So it is not something like that you will get the entire scholarship and you'll be sorted. But yeah, it's one of the option. You can talk to them. Okay, and other thing, if you're a girl student, okay, lot of time in the past, few of the private companies like Honda, I think Honda and Colgate have been sponsored few girls candidate, and they have taken given the all the entire fees as a grant to the students. Okay, but it is not fixed, or they are not doing every year's kind of routine basis. So keep an eye for that. Might be getting, if you're lucky enough. uh, is plus 2 mark is important? uh, yes, if you're depend, if you're asking for the scholarship purposes like data trust and all, definitely they will look into entire profile of yours. What is your background, how much you studious you are, how good are your student. Okay, everything will take. And if you're asking for becoming a pilot, no, pilot don't require any fixed percentage criteria. Anywhere around 50 would be good for you. Okay, if you're scoring less than, I don't think so any criteria is that. Earlier what happened, I think Vistara was the one, he actually the airline put a criteria of 75%. That happens once. Okay, so what is that basically for? To eliminating the student. That was the only time anyone has put such marks criteria. So it is always advised to score highest as you can. But it doesn't matter, because they generally sees your ground subject knowledge. Okay, whenever you're studying for examination, when you're giving airline interviews, what they will asking you, these things. Okay, whatever you learn from navigation, meteorology, like, right? So that kind of thing been asking in this thing. Okay, we'll come to this is, and didn't talk about me much. So this is my profile, something about that. I completed my BTech mechanical, and after that I complete. I worked in Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. So if you know, it is a research field, and it is top research throughout the world. It is more equivalent to Indian Institute of Science, even better in research term. So I was working over there on a Boeing project, and after that I obtained my commercial pilot license. Right, also been part of designing car designings and gear assembly line designing. So a lot of technical field I'm working on. So yeah, let me talk to you about a little bit about Garuda classes, and we'll take question and answer after that. Okay, so what are the Garuda classes? Basically we provide you the ground subjects, and also help you obtaining your commercial pilot license, giving you recommendation, because we have a lot of top type in, as we are talking about FTOs in the foreign. That time, if you want to join abroad somewhere, we'll help you get the admission and clear out the process for you. Okay, we've also been discussing about the educational loan with one of the companies or banking sector, but we are still in talks, so too early to sell that. For our student we can arrange something like that. Okay, so remember the 5 subjects we were discussing about, right? You have to clear those examination. A lot of time FTOs basically prefer student who have cleared this examination, because once you clear this examination, only 200 hours of flying is remaining, and you can complete it very quickly. So you can do it. Okay, so whenever you are completing this DGSM, okay, first time you'll complete your medical, then you take computer number and clear this paper. Okay, then take admission and you can start flying. What happened, you don't have to pay extra for this. What happened, if you complete this DGC papers before joining any flying club, you don't have to pay this ground fees in the flying club. Okay, because you already cleared that. The ground fees for around good flying clubs are around 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs. Okay, so you can save that money over here. Okay, you can join us, and we'll discuss about the fee structure in just a second. So we take online classes, we don't have offline affairs, and we also provide recorded sessions, study material. We have our own app, uh, basically Garuda classes on Play Store. So basically you can search, and so here is our app. You can see, you can download it, and all the things will be available on your phone, right? And we've been, so these are the courses we will discuss in a while. This is our another home. Uh, this is website where we designed specific games for the students, okay, so that they can learn in an interactive way. And this is the first someone. I think no one else has been doing this gamifying experience of the knowledge up till now. So we have few game design for the students where you can basically uh, learn by practicing throughout the game. Okay, so there is something called as meta, basically the weather information in a coded form. So this has been asked in your meteorology examination, so you can practice over here, right? You can see there is a question and you have to select and see if it's correct or wrong. Okay, the not quite right because I'm just randomly clicking. So you can practice over here and increase your knowledge, right? Next year is there this kind of games we have designed so far for specifically for students, pilot student. Okay, this is our basically this is only for demo things, so it's not primarily thing. And this kind of videos been preparing for the students. So this kind of videos we have been designing throughout AI, because AI has been increasing, affecting our life daily. So why not use it in a creative way and help students? You can see this is kind of videos where you can just visually look at these things and will understand. And yep, it will help you easily remember the numbers, because sometimes you have to just remember number 2 is what for annexes. So whenever you will be studying regulation, you will understand. This will make your learning very easy. Okay, this kind of videos are there. And yeah, these are the tools. Okay, there's a lot of things. We have a special dedicated AI chatbot based on LLM of ChatGPT, which will make you have any question. Because I I don't know, someone sometimes whoever is mic is on, please go. Okay, so this is a chatbot specially designed from LLM and trained on your aviation books. So what happened? A lot of time people just research on ChatGPT and ask me questions. So this seems very wrong, because ChatGPT doesn't know anything about pilot. It's very surface level things. So, because someone may asking about the glasses, they don't know, because they don't have the sufficient knowledge for this thing. Okay, because there is no particular website where this thing's been given in details. And basically, what ChatGPT do, serve to websites and give you the result. If for particular reasons they don't have any specific written down there, they might give you wrong or hallucinated result, because he never says that he don't know. He will give you random result. That is the problem with the ChatGPT. Okay, so do not rely, and this is designed for you to work specifically on the books. So will give you the most of the correct answers. Okay, and we this is the soft version. So basically, if you're someone who want to study your own, you want looking for the books, if you go to Amazon, there is a lot of scattered information. Your books cannot be found. So every aviation gear you can find out here, and this is not something we sell. This is just a curated link for your Amazon site. Whenever, say example, you want this computer, this is a flight computer which is compulsory required for clearing the navigation purposes. Okay, if you go out there, it will take you to your Amazon website, and whatever the price is built there, you can purchase out there. Okay, you can see the price is quite high, 16,218. Yeah, everything in the aviation is quite high, and it is compulsory required for the passing in a navigation, because without that it would be nearly impossible to clear this thing. But we have also find out the solution for that. For practice purposes, we have designed same thing, same interface on this website, on our website, and you can use it for free. But you cannot use this in examination for definite the obvious reasons that You cannot take your phone for an examination, so that time you will require someone to borrow it or rent it. That will also be a cheaper option. But for the practice purposes, you can use this. The entire exact interface. You can also go cs3 garudaclasses.com and you can practice this. So we'll be continuously innovating in a new field. We can find it suitable for the students. Okay, this is all about that. And home.garuda classes, this tool is basically free for you guys, so it's not that we are charging student for this, because we want to give as much as possible to student. And we also have a dedicated exam center, okay, where you can practice exact uh, exam wise questions in your screen. Okay, so we have that as well. Every things you can think about on online 16, we have covered it. Okay, now talking about the fees, if you go to leading basically any ground classes in Dwarka, so they will be charging around 90,000, 1 lakh rupees for one subject, or more than that even. So for entire 5 set, it's around 5 lakhs of a fees, which is quite high, because they know whenever you go to ground classes in science club, they be charging you around 2 3 lakhs, so they will top up that. But we have keep our price to the minimum of the possibility. So whoever joining is missed the most of it anyway. So been talking about this as we talking about the fees of other ground classes, but for our things we have kept the flights to minimum 95,000. And for other ground classes you can discuss them and you can find the actual price we've been offering, and I've explained you whatever the service we've been providing. Okay, you can also opt for individual subjects, like for example if you want to study only one subject, that is you go for navigation, is around 29,000, and you can take entire classes, live lectures, and yeah, it will give you the comfort and flexibility of doing the subject at your home. And you can also, if you're 11 12th, you can start your training. Okay, this is optional, this thing. Yeah, that's about I think we have come up with the end of the section. And we provide a recorded section, study material, mock test have been told you exact format, like the examination you will face, and for each subject we have this mock test. Yeah, that's all. This is my contact details, and we'll move forward to your Q&A section. If you have any doubts and this thing, and we'll be discussing that. Okay, so you're feel free to write down the chats, and let's see what doubts you have. Where do we get study books from? DGC Ground School. Ground examinations books, I already told you. You can go to this shop.garuda classes curated link, and basically you can purchase over there. Or if you want a digital version, we will provide you the free digital version as well. Okay. How much percent education loan sanction for? Well, it depends on your property, because I told you, right, um, that it will require some collateral, and it will depend on the bank how much percent it will give. They generally can give up to 90%, I think. So depending on the collateral properties and everything else, your documentation, your CIBIL score, everything will matter. Sakshi, class 2 medical, you can do anything after 16 years of age. You can do it. I'll recommend, if you are pretty sure that you want to become a pilot, do it right now if you're above 16 years age. Okay, And whenever you complete your 12th, after that you do class 1 before joining. But keep in mind that before joining any FTO, always do your class 1 medical. I have a spectable. Will I face any problem in medical class 2 or class 1? What number you have? Basically, glasses do not cause any problem. Okay, most of the time it doesn't have any issues. Many students have glasses. No, no, no. 1.75 would be fine. Doesn't have any much issue. Given that you don't have any other issue with your eyes, that time it won't be an issue. Spectacle never be an issue. Okay. Yeah, 50% is sufficient, Aman. But as I was talking about that, sometimes airline put a criteria. So try to score as high as possible. If you already cleared your 12th, so that is okay. You can become a pilot. Because the recent, if you've been following me on Instagram page, I've recently posted a lot of vacancies for Air India and Fly 91 and this thing. Okay. So that time they don't ask you any this percentage. They ask you just the knowledge, whatever this thing I've been teaching you, will be teaching you in the ground classes. That's why you need a good depth of knowledge. Okay, you just not need to pass the examination. Manvid, you don't know problems. The spectacles generally don't have any issues, given that you don't have any eye issues further than that. Sakshi, what are you doing right now? First, tell me that. Maria, long will be compatible will be valid. It is valid throughout your life. Okay, this is the one number. This is like a permanent Aadhaar number, and still now, if I because I told you that you have to completely continuously study. Okay, so if whenever you go for captain, commander, new aircraft being end off, saying that time the computer number will be there. There is no such thing. If you obtain a computer number, never give an exam in it. That is also fine. It is always be a valid thing. Okay, there is no particular time period that which you require to clear or obtain your computer number and have to give the examination. It's not like that. Okay, we did not discuss the cadet pilot program, right? Basically, cadet pilot program is always advantageous. The only disadvantage cadet pilot program is that it is costly. Okay, it will cost you around 1.2 lakhs. Oh, sorry, 1.2 crore, like 1.2 to 1.5 crore. So if you have that kind of money, go for cadet pilot program. Definitely better choice any day. Okay, and disadvantage is price. If you don't have that, conventional is also good because a lot of demand is there currently. Okay, so whatever, whenever they've been hiring, so first thing they will try to complete student from cadet programs. Okay, after that, whatever the vacancy remains goes to conventional programs. Okay, Shakti, you can if you are sure, you can do your medical right now as well. Okay, and after becoming completing your 12th, you can obtain computer number and clear your class 1. Okay, class 2 is valid for around 2 years, I think. What is the first step after plus 2? First, I tell you, first step is medical, clear your papers, and take admission flying club. Cadet program, basically, you have only two type of cadet programs for Indigo and Air India, right? Don't go for anything else. If the SpiceJet is issuing a cadet program, I don't think so. It's a good choice. Air India, Indigo, definitely good choice option. Go for any one of them, and the prices will be depending on the particular entry as well. Yeah, cadet program is specific to airline because if you are basically you're getting becoming an employee of that company from the start. DGC exam is valid for 5 years. Okay, if you cross that 5 years mark, 5 years is a very long time. That time you're required to give the examination again. 5 best flight school. I cannot name one few. I can just give you an idea. If you want a good flying, and sometimes what happened at Igura, they have a campus placement. Sometimes, not always. And Air India basically sometimes prefer Igura student because of the long tie-up they have Igura, but the flying fees is higher and the fees
flying pace is quite slow, 3.5 year, 3 to 3.5 year in general. And other Aviana and Dunes, which are recently open, they are also doing great job. And if you are not joining recently, I think there is one of the flying club is also where I'm from, DY Patil. It's been opening, and it's in the discussion phase. It doesn't get NOC from DGC yet. So new flying club basically have in the race to prove their name. So they have flying much better because their aircraft is new. Their flying speed is faster. So in general they have better performances. Equair is also doing. Kerala, I don't think so have any flying school. Nee, I think one government flying is there in Kerala. You have to check the list. I mean, the government flying school is there. One another nearby you, I think Equair, Bangalore. Bangalore will be far high. Kerala, the government flying is only one flying school in Kerala, I think. After class 2 medical completion, I'll advise you clear these papers. You can join us. I'll help you. Okay. If you don't want the classes, you can also clear this by your own. But what happens whenever you're doing clear own, you're wasting a lot of time and wasting money eventually, because if you fail examination, it's not simple. Look, even it's have multiple MCQs, and the passing marks are 70 marks. Okay, so I didn't forget to tell you that the passing marks are 70, so it's very high. So you have to be very thorough with the knowledge. It's just not by reading and it's quite specific knowledge until now. Like how specific, right? For example, they will ask you certain value of anything, and they will give you option like 1.234, 1.212, 1.41. So kind of very nearby values, so you might get confused over that. So you need to be very thorough with the subject. uh, I'm basically from Aurangabad, Maharashtra, renamed as Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar. Steps will be same. Class 2 medical, clear your paper. Class 1 medical, okay, and joining the FTO and clearing your 200 hours. Anything else, guys? For completion of your flying training, or you are asking about the ground classes? Flight training will depend on the FTO. Okay, you can take roughly around 1.5 to 2 years of your time. Okay, as I told you, if you're trying to save the money and go to government and other flying school which are giving you less quotation, but their flying speed will also depend. Some good flying school like Aviana has been trying to complete your flying training within 1 year. So, but roughly take around 1.5 to 2 years of time. South Africa, yeah, is good. A lot of Wien students are doing from South Africa. We have a tie-up with the Royal Jordan Air Flying Training School. Okay, that is the official from Jordan. If you want to do flying over there, you can contact me. Look, why people used to do earlier was to not to save money. Doing flying from abroad is to save time, and time is money. Okay, because as soon as you can enter in the airline, you can earn that fastly. Okay, so yeah, little plus minus, because there will be difference of plus and minus 5 lakhs only, because after coming from South Africa, you have to do your ground conversion training in India as well. So roughly it will takes you approximately same amount. So don't go to foreign if you want to save money. That's first thing I tell you. Okay, might be saving or might not be saving, so it depends. But definitely you'll save time because their training is little faster over there. Anything else, guys? Yeah, there is seat limit. I think only 3 seats are there for Agro students, and it depends. It might change with the government policies for the next year. For as of now, it's only 3 seats. Yeah, our class is limited to online because we want to give student uh, affordable fees basically. So if we take offline, definitely this will add fixed cost and will be translated to you. And we are focusing on this digital first approach, giving you all the digital things we can provide you. Okay. Experience about your life, that is quite a vague statement because there's a lot of things I can tell you about, but is not the primary thing. Uh, I already told you that I complete my graduation. After that, I complete my commercial pilot license. I'm also a flight instructor. Okay, so I can also teach you how to fly the aircraft. And I'm working on Garuda classes for the last 1.5 year, and teaching students and helping the student to clear the DGC examinations. All right. Look, talking about my life experience, my father is a farmer, so I've been going through a lot of struggles to clear to up to this point, and that is the primary reason I've been doing this thing. For a lot of things I've been creating for free, and there's a lot of less of guidance. I've done a lot of things wrong. Okay, that's why I've been advising you very frankly, because if you go to government flying school, I've done flying from government flying school. It take me a lot of time to complete my flying. Okay, just to save money, but eventually it will cost more, and a lot of fatigue of that kind of there is. Okay. Any more question, guys? I think there is no more questions, right? So we'll conclude this webinar, and hopefully I'm able to solve this any questions you have, and yeah, hope to see you in a cockpit very soon. And if you have further doubts, you can individually contact me. I didn't understand your question, Aman. I can plus two. I can study for aviation. Yes, you can pass two and you can study aviation definitely, if that's your question. So that's all for today, guys. Bye bye. Take care.